Hello, hello! I am Ben Pick, and thank you for joining me in Running to Write, where I give questionable writing advice through writing metaphors. Over the past 9 months, I've experimented with a good number of marketing campaigns to connect myself and my works with potential readers. What did I spend my money on, and how well did things go? Given this topic is called Marketing Failures, spoiler alert, not well. I tried Facebook ads, Fuzzy Librarian, Voracious Readers, Fiverr promotions, and a handful of others. So far I've learned that my best goal is to strive to fail fast and fail in a way that's repeatable. Not that I want to fail, but I learn a lot more from a failure than I do from a success. In fact, many times succeeding only teaches me the wrong way of getting something done, or the inefficient way to accomplish a task. Starting off with Facebook ads, I've completed 3 cycles of about a month each. The first was for my first book, and the next 2 were for my second. The setup was a copy of each, in that they are a book trailer, which includes an Amazon link to shop, and I wanted to get that in front of as many users and faces as I could reasonably pay to achieve. The results were that the first cycle worked, though it led to minimal, if any, sales. I had close to 3,000 reach and close to 8,000 impressions, which I feel like are good metrics to strive for my first experiment with Facebook ads. Reach is the number of approximate accounts, more or less users, though that could also include an unfortunately large number of bots, who viewed this ad. Impressions is the number of times this ad was on screen and can include repeat watches. Based on these metrics, I don't know if these users watched the ads all the way to the end, or if they closed them early and took no further actions. Reach and impressions only tell me how many people my ad was served to. Additionally, there were 272 clicks of the Shop Now button. However, based on when this ad was run and my lack of sales during that time, I can't attribute Facebook to any direct sales of my first book. Let's just say that even if 10% of the 272 clicks had purchased the book during this period, it would have led to a noticeable spike in sales for that time. I interpret this data as everyone who clicked on the Shop Now link then went ahead and didn't purchase the book, which, as it was a digital copy for less than $1, is not ideal. Oh well, that sucks, it's unfortunate, but I never went over my spending budget for this marketing effort, and this is a learning opportunity to tweak the Facebook ad experiment for next time. My second cycle with Facebook ads didn't work. I copied everything over from the first ad and updated the dates that we run. I updated the information to apply to book 2, including the trailer, the taglines, and the Shop Now link. Functionally, everything should have behaved the same, except it went out to a fraction of potential readers during the time that was run, and it stopped after the first week of a scheduled month-long period. I still don't know what went wrong here. My assumption is that Facebook glitched out for some reason, because there were no errors, everything should have been running, it just wasn't. And that proved to me that I am beholden to whatever marketing service I'm paying for, which brings me to the fact that this wasn't really much of a loss, because the ads went out to almost no one, which means that I didn't have to pay within Facebook to get no service, which isn't the worst thing ever. It just means that I missed out on a month of potential marketing. For the third cycle, I adjusted some of the settings to ensure that it would run, or at least do my best to ensure that. And sure enough, it was working. The ads were definitely running, the ads were definitely reaching people, and better than that, I can, with a high degree of confidence, attribute some of these Facebook ads to multiple days of direct sales. Mind you, that is 5 days in a row of a handful of sales each day. I wasn't promoting my book at the time, so Facebook is the only thing that I know of that was running. It is possible that Amazon KDP was doing some kind of promotion for my book, or there was some other factor that I'm not taking into account. As of right now, I'm assuming this is a win for Facebook, even though technically I was spending a lot more money with the promotions than I made back from said sales. Next up are the broadcast advertisements. This includes Voracious Readers, fantasy newsletters, Fiverr promoters who are going to blast out about my book, and other similar services. Each of these is roughly $30 to $50 to place my book in front of a large audience. The results have not been great. These are relatively inexpensive services on an individual level, though I haven't observed any discernible sales from using them. I've been using Voracious Readers for about 5 months now, and I've added over 100 people to my newsletter. I also sent out free copies of my ebook along with a tag and blurb to try and get them interested, and then I asked them to please read and review my book. These potential readers are under no obligations to read anything and can unsubscribe from my newsletter at any time. After 5 months of using Voracious Readers and sending links to my book to over 100 people, I have received 2 reviews, one of which was a DNF. I'm not disappointed in the DNF, as I recognize that following through is not for everyone. I am, however, disappointed in the lack of response from the users of Voracious Readers. It's likely that they're being bombarded by a lot of potential books to read, and so this feels like it's a disconnect in the service itself between matching readers with authors. It might be linking readers with books that they want to read, but I'm sure they're getting far too many requests to conceivably read within a reasonable amount of time, which means that the authors are the ones who lose out. If they're getting even a book a week, that's not really something you can read and review within a reasonable amount of time, so the books are just likely getting lost and never read. That feels like a failure on Voracious Readers' part, and I'm debating whether or not I want to actually cancel my service with them. I don't have tracking on these files, so I don't know how many people who have received this link have gone through the effort of downloading my book. I guess I just wanted more. The way I look at it, I've gained over 100 subscribers to my newsletter, and now it falls on me to prove to them that my book and my experience and my personality is worth following and reading. Where I couldn't convince them to read my book through an email, I'm hoping to use my newsletter to garner interest in me, my ideas, my personality, my style. I've experimented with what gets sent out and am hoping to transform this failure into a success. What have I learned? Well, I have a long way to go with marketing my books, and this is not easy. Services and ad types which work for some likely won't work for everyone. I've talked to a couple of other indie authors who have had great success in running Facebook ads. They had a strong understanding of their book and its intended audience. That allowed them to design a more targeted ad to a specific group. When my books are included in a long list or broadcasted on social media, I'm assuming they're being lost. For me, these blast out promotions have been a waste of money and effort. These marketing campaigns are sending out my book details to the greater internet, though at this point I'm assuming the recipients are either uninterested or bots following popular people on social media. Now, if those promoters were to say, hey, here's this great book to check out and here's what I liked about it, that will be received differently by their followers. I'll keep experimenting and adjusting how I'm marketing my book. If I discover any secret successes, I'll be sure to share them here. I'm also doing real-life events. I'll be a vendor at this year's Balticon, and I'm going around to local libraries and bookshops to try and get my book on their shelves. I've already had some successes there. My book is available in PG County libraries as well as Fairfax County libraries. And I want to give an explicit shout out and thank you to Kensington Row Bookshop. My books, Falling Through and Expanding Cracks, are available there, and they have a local author sticker on them. They're on the bookshelf for local authors. Kensington Row Bookshop is a wonderful brick and mortar store, and it was incredible having my book on a shelf. So if you're in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, Kensington Row Bookshop is located near Silver Spring. They have wonderful modern fantasy and sci-fi books that I was interested in. They also have a few classics which I have never heard of. And in the upstairs room, there's a Catalan section, which is a region and culture and people within Barcelona, Spain, which I experienced when I was over there for traveling in Europe. So it was really cool to see that learning opportunity in a nice little quiet room where you can read all about its history. As far as Balticon, I'm recording this video before I go. However, by the time you're watching this, I'll have already done a multiple episode series on Balticon, the books, preparing, and a closeout of how the experience was. And I'm hoping it will be a marketing and sales success. In my limited experience, marketing in person is much more efficient and better to interact with potential readers as I promote myself and my books, as we find shared interests, whether or not that leads to a sale, as opposed to online campaigns where I feel like I get lost among countless other books. In terms of marketing, I would love to do a follow-up video at some point in the future all about my successes in my indie author path and self-published novels. For now, all I can say is good luck. I am Ben Pick, and thank you for joining me in Running to Write. If you've enjoyed learning about services you want to try or avoid, please press those like and subscribe buttons. Let me know in the comments whether you discovered the secret to marketing. Is there a silver bullet, or did you throw spaghetti at the wall and see what stuck? I post my running and writing progress on Instagram and Twitter as Running to Write, so be sure to follow me and join in with your own thoughts. Don't forget to sign up for the Running to Write monthly newsletter if you want regular updates on my sort of musings, pitfalls, and lessons learned. The link is in the description below. See you next time. Until then, let's put our best strategies out there and market our books.